Recording in progress.
Welcome into the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch European Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, _G Warner. You can find me across all social media platforms at @the_G Warner. Plus, if you're looking for this podcast, go check it out on Betting the Pitch, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. And if you leave a 5-star review, that'd be huge for the search rankings. If you go there and want to leave a 3-star review, I would prefer you just not even leave one at all, because the reviews do matter and they do directly impact who's coming to our shows. I'm going to tweet this live so everyone knows that I'm live super late night with _G Warner per usual, but want to get this out and get this into everyone's hands as soon as possible rather than trying to manage this somehow tomorrow on Saturday morning when a million leagues across Europe are kicking off. So I just tweeted out. People should know we're live. I want to thank new YouTube subscriber Kamrul Hassan and also Julian Cooper. Thank you so much for coming in, and I appreciate it. Hope you stay long. Check out patreon.com/real_G Warner if you want all my plays summarized in an easy way to figure it out, as easy as it can be on a crazy Sunday morning usually. But I try to put out notifications so you get a buzz if you download the app and you see when I put a play in, so you can try to get the same price. Other than that, we're going to go through the top 5 European soccer leagues, England, Spain, France, Italy, and Germany, not necessarily in that order. I'll figure out a best bet, smash it together into the 1-minute video you can find at @the_G Warner on YouTube and on Instagram. And then we pick our best bet. We're 37-15, 71% year to date. That was our record. I am trying to catch up on a lot of soccer missed over the past month or so, especially with a full-fledged attack on the NCAA tournament, March Madness, and every college basketball, including the Crown. I watched a ton of that and didn't even get a bet from that conference tournament, or just that tournament in general. But it's soccer time and baseball time. It's going to be a great rest of the year. Thank you for those of you that have hung around this whole time. The best bet records have been awesome, and we're going to try to keep that up. So I'm going to start in England since that's where the money is, and I'll go through each of the games that are bettable, that are on this list, and I'll pick a favorite from each country, smash together for that 1-minute video. We'll start with Manchester City, a 1-goal favorite to Crystal Palace. Total is 3, juice more to the under, and pretty heavily to the Crystal Palace side right now, which is a change from where I saw lines initially. Crystal Palace to me is with a full goal of insurance. I'm not really afraid of Manchester City at home, especially with a full goal of insurance in my pocket. I'm not necessarily so sure about the total. I think Crystal Palace goes in with a strategy to try to keep this as low scoring as possible. That puts them in the best position to try to go get some points or a win potentially at Manchester City. But Manchester City they are not the same team this year. There's been plenty of money to be made against them so far this season, and I'm not really turning my nose up to this opportunity. So I'll take the +1 likely before I go to sleep because I'm worried, as it's very juiced at the moment at BetOnline, that we might lose it. So Crystal Palace +1, my favorite in that early window. We'll move next to a big smashing window of Saturday games. We'll start with Southampton, a 1-goal underdog at home to Aston Villa off of their Champions League trip to Paris for Paris Saint-Germain. Total is 3 in this one, juiced all the way to under. If there's ever a time to back the home underdog, it's here. I do like the 1 goal of insurance on Southampton, and I do like under 3. The problem is you have to deal with Southampton being far gone out of the Premier League, back to the Championship, and who knows how to predict what they are right now. Aston Villa still have plenty to play for. Unai Emery, their manager, has said that the English Premier League is most important for them, but I'll believe it when I see it. Champions League, I think, is the most meaningful, and we'll see what the lineup looks like. Maybe Ollie Watkins starts. Who knows? Move next to Nottingham Forest hosting Everton. Currently, Nottingham Forest a half of a goal favorite at home. All the juice on Everton totals 2.25. Juice a little bit more to under at BetOnline. Nottingham Forest, should be a bigger favorite based on where they are in the table, but no one has believed in them all season. It's certainly not the English Premier League betting market, nor the FA Cup market, nor any sort of market that I've seen. Everton look too expensive right now, or they look too cheap, I'll put it that way, which suggests there's a lot of money coming in on Everton, which is a bit of a surprise away from home because they're so much better at home. I'll lean to under 2.25 is my best bet in that one. We'll move to next to Brighton hosting Leicester City. Currently Brighton a 1.5 goal favorite with all the juice. Totals 2.75, juice all the way to over. Leicester City they look like they're going down also. Going on the road to Brighton as big underdogs, and it's probably too big of an underdog, but I just don't know that I want to back Leicester at this point. Don't really trust them to score, which is hard to see them compete away from home. Does help the under, but we don't have a 3 yet, so I think I'll wait and let that one go. Arsenal then hosts Brentford in the nightcap on Saturday. Looks like Arsenal 3/4 goal favorites with all the juice. Totals 2.75, juice all the way to under. Brentford have Started the season horrible away from home, great at home. That's improved as the season has gone along. And they're in a great position to catch Arsenal off of Champions League with Real Madrid and looking ahead to the next leg. With that said, I think I want a full goal of insurance on Brentford. I'll lean to to 3/4 of the goal as we speak. And I guess I lean to under, but Brentford are more of an over team. I usually trust them to score. So I think I want the full 3 there, and we don't have it. And it's juiced the other direction, so unlikely to get it. Move to Sunday, Liverpool hosting West Ham United. Current Liverpool 1.5 goal favorite at home with all the juice. Total is 3, juice all the way to over. So this is a big step for Liverpool to try to win the Premier League. Just win the games you need to. They're way out in front. But I think the bad performances in Champions League to get knocked out early based on their expectations has definitely impacted them, as I'm about to sneeze. And of course, it didn't show up. Can't wait till it comes back and sneaks up on me. But I'll lean to West Ham. I feel like we've seen them go on the road and try to kill games. That makes the 1.5 a little bit less appetizing, but it's still bigger than a goal. I think under 3 is my biggest interest in that one. And it looks like we might get 3.25 before kickoff. Moving next to Chelsea, they're hosting Ipswich Town. Currently, Chelsea 1.75 goal favorites with a little bit more juice on the home team. Totals 3.25, juice almost more to the over here. Chelsea coming off of Conference League, but I mean, they have not taken that competition seriously, and they're clearly a giant in it amongst a bunch of minnows besides the other, I guess, single qualifiers from the big top 5 European soccer leagues, of whom are still remaining Fiorentina and Real Betis. Ipswich, I mean, they're fighting for their lives. They need points. I got to think coming into the year, they thought a draw was fine on the way at Chelsea. I can't imagine they're going to play any sort of aggressive style to must win that'll put them in danger. So I'll lean to Ipswich getting 1.75 goals. I think they're in a great position to catch Chelsea in a potentially quiet spot, though. Of course, they care more for the Premier League than they do from the third European competition. I think I lean under and also like the 1.75. I'd love to get 2 if I could. Moving next to Wolverhampton Wanderers hosting Tottenham, coming off their Europa League, which is clearly what they're worried about and care about most. Wolves quarter goal favorites at home right now with a little bit more juice on Tottenham. Totals 2.75, juiced all the way to over. Pretty respectful number for Wolves at home to be a favorite against the Tottenham side. Normally in the top 6, but certainly hasn't been the case this year in the Premier League. And Tottenham are likely rotating. So I want to see what these lineups look like. And until then, I don't think I want much to do with this one. To the nightcap on Sunday, we have Newcastle, a 3/4 goal favorite with all the juice to Manchester United. Totals 2.75, juice all the way to over. So Newcastle not playing for anything, got a huge win in the Carabao Cup for silverware in a long time, I think, at the top of England. Manchester United on the other side, they are still playing in Europa League, and that's their one place to salvage their season. They're gigantic underdogs here, seeing Manchester United potentially move to a full goal underdog. I'm not sure the last time I've seen that when they haven't played City. But they're coming off of a really defensive performance on the road at Lyon. Somehow stole a goal to equalize and stole another one to take a lead in the 88th minute, but conceded one of the last kicks of the matches to draw 2-2. Still in great shape for their second leg at home to Lyon, but at the same time, we're in much better shape if they could defend it late, though. One get-loose header from Joshua Zirkzee was a huge position or goal for them to take. Definitely killed my under on the way. But at the same time, I think there's probably value in under here. I don't know what Ruben Amorim will do here because he should be playing for Europa League. There's nothing to do in the Premier League at this point. But every bad performance, I think, drives another nail into his coffin. It sounds like he'll return for next season for Manchester United, but I'll be betting against him as long as I can, unless there's some incredible move with transfers and such. But even so, I don't think I trust Manchester United either. So I guess my biggest interest right now is under 2.75 in that matchup, but I'm not really in love with it just yet. And last but not least in England, before I give my best bet from this country, we go to Monday with Bournemouth, a quarter goal favorite at home with all the juice to Fulham. Totals 2.75, juice more to the over. It's hard to say, but both these teams have started the year off really well and have completely collapsed since then. That makes me want to back the underdog, especially as they're climbing to more of like a half of a goal. Bournemouth have been great, but not saying they've been figured out, but they certainly haven't handled the favorite role very well. So give me Fulham quarter goal underdog, and I'll lean to under 2.75 because I just don't think that Bournemouth have been scoring much besides Justin Kluivert from the penalty spot. In terms of best bets from England, it's really tough for me to get off Crystal Palace, but that match starts in 6 hours, 5 hours. I'm never going to sleep. I just don't. I think that's probably too quick of a turnaround for me to give out. So I'll go Everton under 2.25 is my best bet in that, I guess, big window on Saturday in the English Premier League. We'll move next to La Liga in Spain. And I guess I got to manually type it to get there. Great. We'll start on Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Central Time here in Dallas, Texas. We have Real Sociedad not here playing, but over there in San Sebastian, cool stadium, walkable from San Sebastian, the Pincho bars and such. So worth it in the old town. If you ever can go, I suggest it. Real Sociedad, half a goal favorite to Mallorca. I actually saw the same matchup, late goal from Real Sociedad in stoppage time to push my Mallorca +1. Brutal. But a push, I guess, is like a free movie, as A_Schnicker says from the NFL podcast on the Betting the Pitch podcast network. And by the way, we do expect to have a Major League Baseball podcast coming back very soon. Total is 2 on this one, just a little bit more to under. I'll remind you the spread again. Real Sociedad, half a goal favorite. I like Mallorca, but I feel like they're getting too much respect on the side. I don't think we see many goals here, though. And I think Mallorca are lucky to have stolen a win before the international break with like 3 penalty tries. But I'll go under 2 in that matchup as Real Sociedad can control the game. Mallorca will let them, and I think we'll see very few goals and very few and low XG. We'll move next to Getafe hosting Las Palmas. Currently Getafe 3/4 goal favorites at home. All the juice on Las Palmas away. Total's 2.25 here, juice all the way to under. But interesting enough, this total has moved from 1 3/4 across to 2, and then across 2 to 2.25. So someone really likes over here. I need to see what these lineups look like because these are 2 teams I do not expect to score much at all. Getafe have played really well, but they're never a goal-scoring team. They've been playing great, but I'll pay to see them score 3. I'll pay to see Las Palmas contribute. I'll go under 2.25 in that matchup and wouldn't really be afraid of the push on 2 if it drops to there. Celta de Vigo then hosts Espanyol. Currently Celta a 1-goal favorite. All the juice on Espanyol away. Totals 2.25, juice all the way to over. Pretty respectful for Celta, though they've been climbing the La Liga table. Espanyol have not been good away from home and really have not improved on that. It looked like they were for a little while, and it's kind of drifted off. I do like the full goal of insurance, though. I'm still not a believer in Celta. I lean to under 2.25. They've been scoring more goals in their games lately, but I just don't really see them as a goal-scoring team, a goal merchant. And I think Espanyol are unlikely to score away and more likely to play defensively as well. Move to the nightcap on Saturday. Leganés hosting Barcelona, coming off of their Champions League exploits midweek with Borussia Dortmund. Currently, Leganés a 1 3/4 goal underdog at home with all the juice. Totals 3.25, just a little bit more to over. I lean to Leganés just because it's a gigantic price at home, and Barcelona are coming off Champions League. Would love to get 2 full goals, and that's probably the limit of my interest. I don't think I want to play unders with Barcelona, especially if their defense is tired or rotating or something like that. Moving to Sunday, we'll start with Osasuna hosting Girona. Currently, Osasuna 1/4 goal favorite at home. All the juice on Girona away. Totals 2.25, and it's juiced almost all the way to over. Osasuna are a great home team at El Sadar in Pamplona. Girona are going to try to possess the ball. They've been way off what they were last season, but that was the best season in the club's history. They lost a lot of players. So I'm not sure what to take from this. I'm not really a favorite player, but if Osasuna move back down to pick 'em, I'm very interested there. Until then, I'll lean to under 2.25 in that matchup. Move next to Alaves hosting Real Madrid. Currently, Alaves a 1-goal underdog with all the juice. Totals 2 3/4, juice more to the over. Real Madrid coming off Champions League, they have to go on the road. They're fighting for La Liga title as well. Alaves have not been good. They're stupid. Excuse me, I shouldn't call someone stupid, but the terrible look that the Alaves manager, formerly of Celta de Vigo, Eduardo Coudet, who just wears this like stupid scarf around his neck. I don't know why he does it. It's like the weirdest gimmicky thing, and it looks horrible, and it's never looked cool. Well, he's a horrible manager, and I like to bet against him. The problem is he's hosting Real Madrid as a gigantic favorite, so the only way I could go is to the home underdog. I'll lean to the full goal of insurance at home, but man, it's not that interesting. Would love to get 3 for the total. That'd be more interesting as well. Don't have that either. Move next to Real Betis hosting Villarreal. Currently, Real Betis a 1/4 goal favorite at home. All the juice on Villarreal away. Totals 2 3/4, juice almost all the way to over. And Real Betis coming off of their continental play in the UEFA Conference League. But they're really not taking that as seriously, I don't think, as potentially finding a way into Champions League. Pellegrini, their manager's done a great job of balancing the competitions over the years, as they've never really found a way to like pick, oh, we're playing in this one versus this one. And they've done well in the Conference League, but they always seem to land there based on their La Liga play. Well, now this season they have a chance. And I feel like this price reflects Villarreal also fighting for a Champions League spot in La Liga, but really they don't have that extra match midweek. For that reason, I'm interested in Villarreal here getting that quarter of a goal. But there's been a lot of goals in Real Betis matches, a lot of big comebacks. I don't really trust that, so I'll lean to the underdog there. To the nightcap Sunday, we have Athletic Club Bilbao hosting Rayo Vallecano. Currently, Athletic Club a 3-quarter goal favorite. All the juice on Rayo away. Totals 2.25 juice all the way to under. I lean to Rayo. I love their style. Sit deep. It's the Andoni Iraola way since he was running it at Rayo and then moved to AFC Bournemouth in the English Premier League. Lean to total under 2.25 is my biggest interest in that Sunday match. As for Monday, Atletico Madrid, they are 2.25 goal favorites at home to Real Valladolid. Totals 3.25. Juice is split both ways. It's really hard to trust Real Valladolid. They've been playing better ever since the huge exodus of talent and shaving of salaries and such, and guaranteeing themselves a place in the Segunda División next season. But Atletico Madrid have not. They've really struggled to get through a really big, tough gauntlet of matches, unfortunately. We're in good position to advance in all of them, and we're not able to. And so this is all they really have going now. And that's not a good situation for Real Valladolid. I think if anything, I'll lean to under 3.25, just because Atleti are never going to really go out for big points or big goals. But this could be one of those times where they get right or get healthy. And I would hate to be Real Valladolid in that matchup. As for best bets from the Spanish portion of the show, I got to say the Getafe Las Palmas under 2.25 is just too interesting to me, especially with all the movement we've seen this week. Moving next to Serie A in Italy. And then we'll get into France and then Germany, and that'll close out the podcast. So we're about halfway through. Let me check if I've missed any comments. Don't think I've seen any, but if you do, if you're here, you're super late, up with me, getting up early tomorrow, I'm guessing as well, or maybe coming in from a late night. What's up? And make sure you hit the follow button at the Real_G Warner wherever you're listening. Move to Saturday in Italian Serie A. Venezia, 3-quarter goal favorite to Monza. Almost all the juice on Monza. Totals 2.5 juice all the way to under. Monza are pretty much down and looking like they're going to Serie B. It's been a good run for them, but it's been disappointing this season. Venezia, they're in a fight, but they've been doing really good at goal prevention, not really scoring much themselves, haven't all season. For that reason, I'm interested in the under 2.5 Monza at Venezia. Move next to Inter Milan hosting Cagliari, coming off their FC Bayern play midweek in Champions League. Inter, 1.5 favorite to Cagliari. Totals 2.75. Juice more to the under and juice all the way to 1.5 on Cagliari, potentially going back to the 1.25 I saw earlier this week. I like Cagliari just because they're in a great position, rested midweek, while Inter were going all out at FC Bayern in Munich. And I like under 2.75, but I'd love to get the full 3 if I could. Looking at you, Italian bookmakers. Moving to the nightcap on Saturday, Juventus hosting Lecce. Currently, Juventus a 1.5 goal favorite. All the juice on the road team. Totals 2.5. Juice more to the over. I'm a little bit surprised that Juventus moved off of Thiago Motta so fast. But Igor Tudor has certainly been around, and I think was really pulling the strings of the Pirlo puppet from a few seasons ago. Man, those are good times to bet against Juve. But at this point, I don't trust Juve to score many goals. I don't trust Lecce to score any. So under 2.5 is my biggest interest in the nightcap on Saturday. Move to Sunday of Atalanta hosting Bologna. Currently, Atalanta a 0.5 goal favorite at home. All the juice on Bologna away. Totals 2.25, juice all the way to over. We're looking at a really low-scoring game, which is surprising for the two pretty good offenses. Bologna have been playing very well, though. So I'll lean to Bologna getting 0.5, and I'll lean to the under 2.25, potentially 2.5 before kickoff in the early one on Sunday. We'll move next to Verona hosting Genoa. Currently, Verona a pick'em right now. All the juice on Genoa away. Total is 2, juice all the way to under. I like Verona. Would love them as a home underdog. Still like them at pick'em, honestly, and like under 2 in that matchup. So I don't see a lot of goals. Genoa haven't been scoring any and certainly have not been conceding any. So under might be more interesting there. Fiorentina then hosts Parma coming off of their Conference League. Fiorentina 3/4 goal favorite with more juice. Total is 2.5, juice all the way to under. Excuse me, juice half more to the under, not all the way, but looks like 2.5 is here, at least for now. And look, I'll guess it stays before moving to 2.25. But Parma, they replaced their manager. It seemed that things were going that direction they needed to, I guess. I don't know. I don't think Parma was that desperate. But Fiorentina are a really good team. They can score a ton of goals at times, and then they have some no-shows. So Parma are certainly banking on one of those. If they move to a one-goal underdog, I might look at that a little bit further. But I think Parma have been really pragmatic under the new manager, so I'll lean to under 2.5 in that one. Como then hosts Torino. Currently, Como half a goal favorite. Juice is split both ways. Totals 2.25. Just a little bit more to over. Como have been unable to hold any lead. They find a one first to score might be the bet in every Como match from now on. They just never hold on, and it's really brutal. But Torino, they certainly have a bone to pick, and will try to do their best to keep Como from opening up the scoring. I just don't really know what to do this one, so it's probably a skip for me. I don't like unders involving Como, and I do fear that Torino can't score if Como do take a lead. To the nightcap on Sunday in the Stadio Olimpico, Lazio hosting Roma. Currently Roma with the road team with all the it's the home stadium, they share it, but should be an entire Lazio crowd. Yet Roma are the favorite away. So give me Lazio. Very interested in the pick 'em there. Would love to get a quarter of a goal before kickoff and lean to under 2.25 because this is the perfect match to end 0-0. My favorite scoreline, by the way, in every sport, soccer especially, though it's only one that can end that way. Moving to Monday, Napoli hosting Empoli. Currently Napoli, a goal and a half favorite. All the juice on Empoli away. Totals 2.5, juice slightly more to under. Empoli are somehow in the Coppa Italia semifinals. It's been a great year for them. They're just trying to stay in this league, though. I think my biggest interest is under 2.5. I don't really trust Empoli to score much. I don't really trust Napoli to defend as much, though that's exactly what they're going to do the entire match day and entire time that they're around. As for my best bet in Italian Serie A, I'll go with Juve and Lecce under 2.5 goals in the nightcap on Saturday. Move now to Ligue 1. Get you some French action, gets you a French kiss late at night at 1:37 local time in Dallas, Texas. We'll start with Monaco as I wear their, I don't even know. I guess it's not a kit technically, but it might be actually. They're missing the logo, which is exactly what I'm hoping for because those logos are huge. And I'm not an advertisement. Anyway, Monaco, half a goal favorite to Marseille. Totals 3.25. Juice is split both ways. Pretty heavy juice on Marseille, though it seems like it's been getting cheaper since I've been watching it. I lean to Marseille, even though I wear a Monaco shirt. I think Marseille are a really good team, and I think they have had some ups and downs, as they always do every single season, and their expectations are always gigantic. But I just don't trust Monaco. And yes, they can score goals from time to time, but they really don't get much from their home crowd. It's a big stadium, allegedly, and people do show up at the Stade Louis II, but I'm not sure. No real feel for the total. We'll move next to Toulouse hosting Lille. Currently, Lille, the road favorite, but it's still a pick 'em. Just all the juice on Lille. Totals 2.25, juice more to the over. Feels really respectful line for Toulouse, so I'm waiting for them to move to an underdog. And the total feels really tiny based on how frequently we see goals in Toulouse matches. A lot of times from them when you're not expecting it. Good position, I think, for Toulouse. I'll probably lean that way more than anything on this matchup. Moving next to the nightcap on Saturday of Strasbourg hosting Nice. Currently, Strasbourg will pick 'em. All the juice on Nice totals 2.5, juice all the way to over. A lot of respect for a Nice offense has been great this year. I don't think anyone expected it. Certainly not me. But Strasbourg have been really good. We knew they had talent. They're a Chelsea minor league team, essentially. And I'll lean to that pick 'em at home. Moving to Sunday of Saint-Etienne hosting Stade Brestois. Currently Saint-Etienne, a quarter goal underdog at home with all the juice on Brest away. Totals 2.75, juice more to the over. Saint-Etienne have been the only place they can get points is at home. They are trying their best to not go back down to Ligue 2. We'll see if that happens. This is a hugely important match for them, but Stade Brestois are better and more rigid and more talented and deeper. I don't like a lot of the situations for Saint-Etienne. I think they're going to try to win this game, which does make me think that they're going to try to score goals. So you have to do that to win, which does put their defense more under threat and does make that under look less appetizing. But 2.75 is pretty large. We'll see if this climbs to a full 3. That's probably what I need to play it before kickoff. Moving to Angers, hosting Montpellier, another battle at the bottom. Angers, a Ligue 2 promoted. Montpellier look like to be a Ligue 2 demoted. But Angers, a half a goal favorite at home. Almost all the juice on Montpellier away. Totals 2.5, juice more to the over. Angers can score goals. Montpellier cannot. I think Montpellier go on the road and try to hang around, and we'll see what happens. I'll lean to the Montpellier under 2.5, but it's not a strong lean. Le Havre then hosts Rennes. Currently, Le Havre, a quarter goal underdog at home. All the juice on Rennes away. Totals 2.5, juice more to the under. Rennes third manager of the season has made them very defensive. Le Havre can't score goals. So that makes me think under is the most interesting here. But I guess Le Havre, I mean, trying to stay in the league, certainly trying to get a win here at home. It's a big home underdog. Result probably wouldn't make anyone happy in this matchup, but I think there's a good chance we get that. So I'll lean to Le Havre in the quarter and to the under 2.5. And last but not least, the nightcap in France, we have Angers, a half of a goal underdog at home to Lyon. All the juice on Angers. Total is 3, juice pretty heavily to under. And the big question is, what does Lyon put out here, especially after a very emotional equalizer late in stoppage time after dominating a game and making Manchester United say uncle until a late goal from Manchester United turned their world upside down, including my own. But a late goal from Lyon did steal at least a bit of a cover on the home underdog. I'll lean to the home underdog here as well. Angers in perfect position to take advantage of Lyon focusing on Europa League, though certainly Liga is still very important to them financially. I'll lean to under 3 as well. Not really sure I like that as much, but I'll lean to Angers. Probably my biggest interest in that matchup. As for my best bet in French Ligue 1, I'm going to go with Strasbourg, a pick-em right now at home. Would love for them to get to a quarter of a goal underdog before kickoff. Last but not least, we get to the German Bundesliga. I'll summarize my ultimate best bet and try to shout out anyone I can think of. And we'll start in Saturday, German play, with Borussia Mönchengladbach hosting Sport Club Freiburg. Currently, Gladbach, a quarter goal favorite at home. More juice on Freiburg away. Totals 2.75 juice all the way to over. Freiburg are a great defensive team, but they didn't have Noah Atabolu, their young but studly goalkeeper, who looks like he's probably the next big sale for them to another big club. Gladbach have been great at home for years. They've been better away this season. I think they do get Tim Kleindienst back for this matchup. But the big question is, how many goals can Freiburg score? I think they're going to look to keep this low scoring as they have all season. I think I need a 3 on a total before I play here, but we might get it before kickoff. Next move to TSG Hoffenheim hosting Mainz 05. Currently, Hoffenheim a pick'em, all the juice on Mainz away. Totals 2.75. She's pretty heavily to under. I think Hoffenheim are a team I just want to be against. I don't think Mainz, though, as a pick'em with all the juice is where I'm going to play. Only way I'd want to look is under 2.75, but I'd love a 3 because Mainz score goals. And Hoffenheim, they certainly want to keep this low scoring because their offense is dried this season as they fight relegation. But I don't have what I want here, really. We'll next move to Bayer Leverkusen hosting Union Berlin. Leverkusen, a 1.5 goal favorite, all the juice on Union. Totals 2.75, juice all the way to over. Leverkusen, they're still fighting for what? I don't know. But Union Berlin are certainly trying to make sure that they are safe. I think Union go to Leverkusen, try to keep this as low scoring as possible. But I want that push on 3 because Leverkusen can score and Union can look really bad away from home if they concede, unfortunately. The big draw against Bayern München was incredible, but ultimately this is a different type of situation away and against a team that's going to really, really test Union Berlin. We'll move next to VfL Bochum hosting Augsburg, and this is probably the first one I'm actually interested in, surprisingly, because I usually bet a ton of Bundesliga matches. I'll lean to Augsburg, a quarter goal underdog, and I'll also lean to under 2.5, as I just don't believe Bochum should be a home favorite to anyone. I mean, maybe the other teams are fighting relegation against. Augsburg have been so good. The Bundesliga hasn't believed it. And, we saw some signs of this last season. Storup came in to Augsburg. I think there's too much value here to go against a home team that's certainly struggling, but is one of the worst teams in the league. And therefore, you should look to bet against them. Move next to Holstein Kiel hosting St. Pauli. Speaking of relegation battles, we have Holstein Kiel. I felt like I just cut my middle finger. Holstein Kiel, a quarter goal underdog at home with all the juice. Totals 2.5, juice more to the under. St. Pauli can't score goals, so being a road favorite is really, really puzzling, questionable, all those sort of things. So lean to Kiel as a quarter goal underdog, and I'll lean to under 2.5 as I do with every St. Pauli matchup. To Der Klassiker in the Top Spiel on Saturday night in a match that doesn't matter because one team is in first and one team is in 10th. Maybe better, but not much. Bayern München, a goal and a quarter favorite at home to Borussia Dortmund. More of the juice on Dortmund away. Totals 3.5. Juice more to the over. Bayern coming off of Inter in Champions League. Borussia Dortmund coming off a day later road trip to Barcelona puts Bayern München in great position. Not having to leave Germany for the match. Playing a day earlier. Playing at home. All those things work out. Dortmund have been really good at Champions League. I think this game's competitive, so I'll lean to the goal and a quarter. I think we could see a lot of them, and that makes the road underdog less appealing. Moving to Sunday, VfB Stuttgart hosting Werder Bremen. Currently, Stuttgart, a three-quarter goal favorite with all the juice. Totals 3.25, juice more to the under. Werder Bremen have started to look better, but then lose at home to Gladbach after beating Leverkusen. I mean, they've been really inconsistent, and I don't know that I want to trust them much, but I do like the total above 3. I just don't think I can trust Stuttgart to score many goals. I trust them to get possession, but that's about it. So under 3.25 in that matchup. It's the last match that we're going to cover in this episode. That is Eintracht Frankfurt hosting FC Heidenheim. Currently, Eintracht, a 3/4 goal favorite at home with more juice on Heidenheim. Totals 2 3/4, just almost all the way to over. Eintracht Frankfurt coming off of Tottenham in Europa League, certainly not in great position. Heidenheim are fighting for their lives, so I'll lean to 3/4 of a goal. I'd love to get a full goal, but I don't think we'll get there. I'll lean to under 2 3/4 as well. Not a lot of numbers lining up for how I'd like to fade Frankfurt, but I think Heidenheim are where I'm looking in that matchup for sure. For the ultimate best bet on this episode's German Bundesliga section, I'm going to go with that Bochum Augsburg under 2.5 is what I got here. That's, I think, the biggest interest for me in the Bundesliga portion of the show. Now that we're done, we'll get to the ultimate best bet. Only 30 minutes this time, so we're moving fast. I need to get my recording device so I can get this out and get this out there as well. You might have seen F1 podcast with me and Roscoe Poop Scoop on Twitter. What a name. But Angel and I have been going through the F1 through a few races so far. We both gave our best bet. Both were winners. It was the same best bet, but they both won on the last episode for the Japanese GP or Japan GP Grand Prix. So check that out. We should have a baseball podcast, I think, coming next week on Tuesday night, covering the Wednesday card with at A Brooks Bets on this Betting the Pitch podcast channel. If you leave a 5-star review, not a 3-star, that'd be super good for me and trying to get this podcast out there. Betting the Pitch on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. If you are a YouTuber, at @thereal_G Warner, of course. If you want this 1-minute video coming out very shortly, check us out, patreon.com/thereal_G Warner. Sorry, no, Instagram.com/thereal_G Warner, but that Patreon one does work too. So it's time for the ultimate best bet. Don't see any comments in here, but thank you for coming in. And it's time. Let's see if this will actually stay. Doesn't look like it. Well, maybe. Okay, let's do it. Let's almost do it. Let's do it. Hey, this is Real_G Warner on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and on YouTube. This is the ultimate best bet from the European Soccer Podcast on the Betting Pitch Podcast Network. We are 37-15, 71% on our best bets so far this season. I picked my favorite bet from all the leagues covered: England, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and I give you what my favorite one is, and that's where the records come from. 37-15 year to date. From England, I like Everton under 2.25 goals. In La Liga in Spain, I like Las Palmas under 2.25. In Serie in Italy, Lecce under 2.5. In Ligue in France, I like Strasbourg, a pick'em. And in the German Bundesliga, I like Augsburg under 2.5 goals. But for the ultimate best bet on this episode, check out all plays across this sport, soccer, and baseball, and everything you could ask for. Patreon.com/Real_G Warner. But I'm going to go with the Everton under 2.25 goals on the road at Nottingham Forest. Don't trust either offense. The market has not liked Nottingham Forest despite their incredible points total this season. I don't think we see a lot of goals. I think we see a lot of corner kicks that go out of the field of play. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode, and thanks for your constant and loyal support. I really appreciate it. Talk to you all very soon.
Recording stopped.